Hello, and welcome to Detroit Performs. I'm your host, DJ Oliver, and today we're at the Detroit Historical Museum, where you can see the stories of our great city's past come to life. Every one of the Detroit Perform musicians in this episode has interesting stories that have shaped their songs. First up is Detroit legend, Dr. Funkenstein himself, George Clinton, as he takes the DIA stage to share stories of his musical career during a night with the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers. Take a look.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers. But we're going to have a conversation, and out of that conversation, stories will flow.
To me, it's like destiny. Funk has led me here. This is where I'm supposed to be at this time right now, talking about what we're talking about, because I got a lot of stories to tell. Our first show in Detroit was at State Theater the day the riots broke out. We had just come from the riots in New Jersey, got here just in time to hit the stage, and everybody in Detroit was on stage with us.
I think that storytelling is the possibility of human being really at the level of transformation. If the story is transformational, you can actually transform, you can actually make a difference, shift thought, shift the way people perceive life. You know, when something is supposed to happen, there's no effort, it just falls in place.
Satora is a friend of mine from way back. Matter of fact, she's one of the mothership passengers. She was in the Brides of Funkenstein.
It took 2 years of just committed asking and being afraid to ask, and then finally, can you come? And just as he said yes, the DIA was saying, can you come over here? And we were like, yeah, we were talking to George, and it was like, boom.
So I had to do it when she told me what she was doing. And the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to do it. I heard all the people that had done it. And since I had this book out, Brothers Be Your Like George, Ain't That Funkin' Kinda Hard on You? I had just told these stories that I've been saving all my life, since I've been performing. So it's a good time to be able to do it in this format in Detroit. I mean, this was where most of the stories is centered around. Walk across town from Woodward all the way over to the 8 Mile, to Super Disc. We were all over this place, 50 to 60 of us, staying at the Crystal House.
Crystal House Hotel.
I mean, we had 40 rooms in this hotel for months at a time. The whole, Motor Booty album.
Motor Booty.
We lived in the studio for that. I mean, that's just the way we created.
George is in everyone's story because his music spans 6 decades. His music has impacted culture worldwide. So how is it going to be different? He won't be playing an instrument. He won't be singing unless it's a cappella. He will be telling you true personal stories about his life. And so you'll, again, get to know really who this master is and how he thinks and how he got to become who he got to become. So it's storytelling, children.
I didn't feel safe until I got to the part, what was that? Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat?
Ain't nothing but the dog and me.
When I did that, just what happened, same thing happened in the studio. People started, oh, he got it.
His music is his stories, his philosophy, his generosity, his heart, and his genius, his lyrical, witty, poetic genius.
You get a lot of inspiration when you just look at all the cross section of people, all the different kind of people that we've seen over the years. The experiences are deep, people are deep, places and things that I've seen, from the barbershop in Plainfield to the Woodstock, from Motown, the dream that we had in New Jersey, New York, and everywhere, coming to Motown to be part of that, to see that and all the different stars that it brought with it. And then the rest of the world, I'm 74 years old, I've seen a lot of it. So you have no shortage of things to do, to write about it. And we was inspired.
We'll be having a conversation, he and I, And through that conversation, stories will spill. So he's a master storyteller, he's a poet.
You had a whole new sound. That's when we started calling it P-Funk. Because now you got James Brown, you got psychedelic, funkadelic, Jimi Hendrix, you got our Motown history. All of that is becoming a soup. I didn't care what I threw in there. Glenn sang like a Sam Cooke or Gary. We had everything we needed. And I just made a stew out of it. What you call it? P-Funk.
I think the audience is, first of all, going to be so excited to be in the audience of George Clinton. They react, they laugh, they cry, they reach for a hand, they squeeze it, and then they meet the person that they're squeezing the hand. It's alive, it's an energy of life.
People can get to feel you. They can get to hear you talk, interact with you. You can tell the stories. It's going to be one of the new mediums for communicating, you know, TV, internet, social media. Storytelling is going to play a big part in all of that. It's going to be one of the places you can find real organic feeling coming from people. The rest of it is so staged and with backdrops of sound effects, and it's all planned, you know, but storytelling, you're just kicking it.
I mean, I ran around where this building is at. I remember cutting through alleys and doing things all over Detroit.
I'm gonna point out all of my inspirations, which was Detroit, you know, the Smokies and the Marvin Gaye, all of that was my inspiration. You know, when I was a kid wanting to be in music.
If 1,100 people come tonight and they share this experience, I think it will spread out throughout Detroit. People will, in the beauty parlors and the barber shops, on their jobs, by the water cooler, everywhere, tell of their experience. Wow, I wish I could have been there. It's going to be cathartic, and you know, it's going to be a party. It's going to be uplifting, thought-provoking, soul-cleansing, which is what we want to do.
One more time.
We'll turn his mother out.
Last time.
We'll turn his mother out.
Good.
All right.
You can learn more about George Clinton and the secret society of twisted storytellers on DetroitReforms.org.